wine. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see. Hey, big spender, spend a little time with me.
Welcome to another Hardware News Recap. This week we're talking about Intel's unveiling of their discrete GPU, which is still probably several years away, but they have a prototype that they just showed off at an IEEE conference. Also be talking about some Intel accidentally leaked CPUs on Newegg. Oops, that include the G4900 series, G4900, G4920. We've got some news on AMD components, on a Windows upgrade, and on a cryptocurrency security vulnerability in one of the popular wallets for any of you who use those. We've got a couple of other things as well. Before getting to that, this video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club, makers of the new $5 Shower Shave Starter Set. The kit includes the Dollar Shave Club Executive Razor, bearing the heft of any high-quality tool, and also includes reloadable cartridges. The $5 kit includes everything you see on the screen now, like the body wash and shave butter, and can be refilled for a few dollars a month. This deal is available for $5 exclusively using our link below or dollarshaveclub.com/gamersnexus. Let's start out with some GN site news. We published a PUBG graphics analysis and frame rate benchmark for the Xbox One X. So even though this is a console, we think a lot of you would be interested in this because it specifically uses some new software that we developed for frame rate analysis that we can apply towards PC in the future. And we also do some technical explanations as to different types of graphics anomalies that we saw, like for example when the normal maps were glitching out at glancing angles underneath the parachute, or when we talked about static versus dynamic particle mesh replacement on some of the fences and how their scaling was wrong. So it may interest some of you, if only from a technical graphical standpoint, but we are moving some of this technology towards our PC benchmarking in the future at some point. So check that out. It's on the channel if you're interested. Starting us out, Intel published some slides at an IEEE conference. It was the IEEE Solid State Circuits Conference, and this primarily highlighted a prototype 14 nanometer discrete GPU that the company is working on for the distant future. This model uses a multi-chip approach to graphics processing. It's a prototype for now, which means that you can't derive anything from it. We don't know if it's going to be low-end or high-end, consumer or AI. We have no idea at this time. But it is a functional prototype, and it's the first thing that Intel's shown in the discrete GPU region since they hired Raja Koduri, and actually since many years before that. So this is probably not a product that Koduri had much hand in at all, because he is a recent hire and it takes a long time to make these things. But we do suspect to see more of his influence going forward as Intel continues to work on its discrete vision, which he is now a part of. Of note, Intel's IEEE slide shows a complete graphics system, as they call it, has a 14 nanometer silicon component, which contains a low low-power GPU, a system agent component, and a configuration and debug path. This is mounted to an FPGA board, which then communicates via PCIe to the host. and the test chip is sized at just 8mm by 8mm, making it clear again that this is a very simple prototype. It also totals 1.54 billion transistors in that area, so we can't really derive much from it other than they're showing off some of the basic capabilities. The GPU voltage is regulated through an integrated voltage regulator, similar to the Fiver of Intel CPU architectures. For the prototype, frequency is operating at 50 MHz or 0.51 volts, or 400 MHz or 1.2 volts. One of the main focal points for Intel's presentation was on faster turbo to unturbo transitions, which will theoretically aid in limiting power consumption, and then we'll have more on this later, probably a couple years. It'll be a while before this makes it to any kind of market. But they've got a prototype, so that's kind of exciting to see another vendor get into the GPU space. We'll see what part of the space they compete in ultimately, but it'd be nice to see more choice, at least in consumer, although they're probably
I don't pop my cork for it. Big spender, good looking, so
tried cockpit in a long time and it feels weird.